All right. I did everything that I could to hopefully make it unable to crash, and it still may very well crash. But hey, let's hope for the best, y'all. Let's hope for the best and expect the best, to be honest. Now, I don't know if I forgot to edit the stream title at all. Oh well, too late now. Alright, so. But yeah, I forgot to edit the title of the stream, so that's unfortunate. Folks are gonna think it's a part 2, and the part 2 has already been part 2. Alright, so, anyways. Let's just go ahead and just... I don't think I'm gonna do the full Zion because the poll said not to. Maybe I'll make another video, like, asking, because there were only, like, 8 votes. But yeah, I may look into that and see. But I want to at least finish this one picture here. Alright, so... I'm thinking, let's draw some of the fairies to begin with. Sup Hip, welcome to the stream. Let me just go ahead and add this because I don't want to make it like a river anymore, per se. In fact, I kind of want to make it like this big area. It's not an ocean because they're not that far out. At least not these ones, not in this story here. Alright, so let's go ahead and expand it. So let's go ahead and move that to right here. I'm gonna have like these guys fish, so I'm thinking let's move these over to like right here. I still need this on-screen keyboard takes up like literally the entire chunk of space, so that's unfortunate. Like I can't see the key as I'm typing, so I'll just have to like have a rough estimate and then just fill in the letters afterwards. Oh, Subgalactic, wake up now. Okay. Sorry, I'm not here for every stream, but I just wanted to get this one and say hey. Well, welcome to the stream, both of you. And that's fine that you're not here. You can always like watch it after it's done. Now, I'm checking out these, and I want to see how they would look. I think I'm going to expand that one like this. So just... oh, that's a bit much. Right. Goodness gracious. I can't... I'm having trouble clicking that. Right, finally. Got it. I took off the bottom of that part, didn't I? Alright. There we go. Yeah, give my sister a second YouTube account, you'll see. But it's hard to find, you'll see. Yeah, there's lots of accounts with the same name. There's even one account with my name out there. I'm gonna go ahead and do some of the fairy peoples now. Because, you see, there's a little tin here. I think I should, like, change the angle slightly. Like, maybe just make it, like that. Just as in rough draft. Kind of like that, and then this, that. This way is better. I'm gonna go with this. Alright, let's do some of the people. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. They have like a bunch of these fish and spiders, all kinds of like little creatures to help them actually Let me see. Is the music fine? I hope so. Alright. But anyways, let's have like some of these small creatures here. I was thinking of having like a uniform for them, but I don't really think that's necessary. Alright, so keep in mind like these two right here are bananas. And so let's see. So let's have this one. Let's see, should I get rid of like the pixel art style? I mean, get rid of the anti-analyzing. I like having that, but it may be a hindrance this time. Let's look, see how let's draw the one next to it without the anti-analyzing. So we just do that, and then this, and that. Could work. Like, which one do you guys like better? Like 1 or 2? You know, I should have flipped that, but we're gonna just go with it. Alright. Well, while you guys are deciding, I'm gonna go with something that I know I want right there. So let's just do this. Alright, let's do that. Secondary, go to this to make it deeper. That to make it like that. Let's see how that looks. Right, pretty good. Let's make it a little bit darker. Right. So let's have it be like that. Right, 1. Alright, good choice. Alright, so we're gonna go with 1 this time. So let's abandon like the anti-analyzing for this one at least and do 1. Oh shoot! Okay, shoot. Oh my gosh. Alright, undo. Alright, so got 1 here. Let's switch to 2. And let me see how this would look in like 1s. A little bit too thin for my liking. Alright, so so let's have like the legs just dangling off right here. Like right there too. Right, and undo. Well, not undo, but erase. Then let's have him doing his hands like he's trying to keep like the sun off of it. The sun off of his eyes, I mean. Alright, so do that. And that should be good. And I had a color tool that I wanted like for the fairy specifically. I forgot to implement that. But it's too late. I already started the stream. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm making this man pink. Alright. By the way, I think I already said it, but I'm not certain if I did. So happy birthday, Galactic. Alright, so let me get that there. Let's also add like some ears right here. I'm not good at pixel art. Just so y'all know. And let's add his wins in the back. Luckily, I made these stuff universal, and I have reference to that right there. So I can easily just go ahead and copy and paste that part there. Alright, so let's also... Do I really need the pupils? I need the pupils, but do I need the irises? I technically do not, but I feel better having it. So let's do that, and this. Thanks for letting me know what day it is. Still 21 in your time zone. Yep, it's the 21st still for me. Yeah, time zones are a crazy thing. I used to think they were real crazy when I was younger, but they make perfect sense. Let me see just one moment here. Right, there we go. Got it working again. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's actually make sure this man has boots. You know, I think the pixel art might work slightly better for this one. So I'm gonna keep it 1 pixel big. Even though I don't know if this would really be considered pixel art, but to each their own. You could make it like a uniform. Because, like, fish, they are capable of seeing. So when they see, like, some foreign object, like, on top of the water, they usually jump up. So I'm thinking, like, since some fish usually, like, blend in, they might, like, try to have... The fairies might try to have, like, a special kind of blue-looking armor right there. Not armor, clothes. I don't know what I was saying. Alright, so something kind of like this. Alright. So he's looking pretty human, kind of, but he's not supposed to. So let me just get this skin color, since this is like the correct skin color. Right, that's better. A nice pinker outlook. Alright, so let's do that, and let's also give them green leaf shoes. Alright, so perfect. And an air. Alright. Yeah, like I changed the forgot to change the name of the stream for this one. I think I'm probably just gonna do this one the whole time. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, you can see like some of the pixel art like I'm doing here. Excuse me, in my comic book. Because it should be in that scene with the giant bottle water tower. Should be some like in the background there. Right, so let's do that. Well, I don't need to add that much detail. In fact, it just occurred to me I can just make this bigger and then scale it down. Well, let's just keep it going. Sorry. Alright, so. Alright, so let's try it like this. Let's do the spider now. I went back to anti-analyzing for this one. So the weapon they're gonna use like all kinds of like spears, and some of them might use ants and stuff, just so they can go ahead and like keep whatever bounty they find. Because birds and sometimes other fairies will definitely attempt to steal it. And so let's do this. So let's erase a bunch of this right there. Boom. Alright, so right now we have this spider right here. So let's add that. By the way, are any of y'all scared of spiders? For some reason y'all strike me as like some folks that are not. Yeah, I think I made the spider too big, but we're gonna just keep going with it. Alright, so that looks good. The spiders in my room. Those are crawling on my wall. Yeah, spiders are good though. They like to eat like the other insects that are like actually more of an issue. But that's good. You're not scared of them. Alright, so we got that. Let me just color in that spider. I have gecko in my country eating mosquitoes and ants and other bugs, I assume. Yeah, that's good. Wish we had some of those here because, like, the mosquitoes, they go crazy here sometimes. And so that should be good. There we go. Now that looks a little better. Right, so we got that. Let's see, do I add like a spinneret and all that? Might not be necessary. So we're gonna just add a line. Right, so then we're gonna have like two folks there just to like help the spider pull its web back in. Geckos are useful to make loud noises like this. Just that's neat. This whole time I thought like geckos were like kind of silent, but it does make sense that 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 they have like a voice because frogs have voices too. So that's good to know. Let's just do that right there, I guess. Let me just add like these two more eyes there. And then I should do like what do they call it? A sale now. It could be annoying by entering our food. Oh, don't I know it? There's a fly flying around and it's always trying to enter the food. It is so annoying when it does that. Yeah. Plus, in my humble opinion, geckos, they look so adorable. I would own a gecko. It is just so cute. Alright, so I duplicated the boat in case I messed something up. So since I did some of that, the spider is kind of massive. Should probably shrink it down a little. But as you can see, like that, I did not use anti-analyzing to make that. But this, I did, and then I shrunk it down, and it still looks kind of like my style. So that's why. So I might like make them big and then scale them down. I think that could probably work. Not a door before us, down every wall in the house. Man, that must be crazy. And they make noises. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with you there if I had to deal with that all the time. Excuse me. I remove that. Right. Anyways, but yeah, I should have adjusted the stream because I meant to say I was gonna do this the whole time. Yeah, I'm happy with that. How that turned out, at least. Looks like it's about the 110. It's just not that 10 right there. Let's try it with 2. It's in between 1 and 2. It's like a 1.5. I think I did this with my software once before, and it worked. Did it? That's still a 2. It didn't do a bull. It's still the same size. Alright, so I'm just gonna make that a full on too. Spiders. They don't really have for this one, but the fairies do treat them like pets. Because like for fairies, like they find like hard shells, they find that cute. Since they're so small and more used to that than seeing other mammals. So like for fairies, they would find like lightning bugs, grubs, all kinds of those insects like much more cuter than a dog. Even though it looks different from their own babies. I still haven't like figured out clearly like if I want the fairies themselves to be mammals or like a hybrid of some animals. Like I was thinking of making their babies look kind of like this. Like just have the furry baby look like that, and they need to be fed like all the time. They don't have any limbs or anything like that. Or I could just make them kind of like a small fairy. So let's see. There's a head right there. That. And then how do I draw a baby? I don't know. Let's just go with that. And then this. I don't know if I should have like them grow their second pair of arms over time, but let's just see how it would look like that. So it'd look kind of like this. But they wouldn't have their wings, so it would just be like that, and that's the baby. And the tenants would just be that. I think fairies are mammals that become small in medieval Ireland by magic. And that's neat. That's where their fairies come from. Yeah, I think we can make them mammals then. I hope the sound is being heard. I think it is. See, do I have like a fairy baby out here in this like fishing boat, fishing slash pirate boat? Hmm. Right? Like with the babies, they have like their eyes like completely bulging out of their head. Unlike the adults where they just have big eyes, but it's still firmly on their head. Babies just have it bulging out. Like with a pug. We can have the babies like not have any like white parts in their eyes. Alright, so I did that on tools with anti-analyze, and let's shrink it down. See how it looks. Alright, it works. Alright, I think that's about the right size for one. So we're gonna have that be there. Then we're gonna just give it a green diaper. Do you think, like, personally, I think it looks better, like, me drawing it big and then shrinking it down. I think it just looks good like that. Let's see. Almost has mammary glands. Do bugs have that? I don't think bugs have that, but these guys are definitely gonna have that. Assuming mammary glands are what I think they are. By mammary glands, I'm assuming you mean breasts, like where they can like feed the baby. Yeah, they have that. Maybe look good on green. Yeah, there are like a bunch of green fairies. I'm gonna make them. Like for example, this here is like another fairy color. This is like a guard fairy, so I'm gonna have some of them on the ship. Because you can't really go anywhere without protection when you're a fairy. But hey, let's see how... Let's make this one green. Better yet, let's make like another fairy altogether. Right, so let's make this one like this, and let's have them doing this. Then I could just add on the stuff later. They made clothes out of leaves. I wonder how they made paint for different colors. Oh, so what they did was like they gathered a whole bunch of flower petals, and then they crushed them up along with water and paste, and that basically turned it into a dye. It's real easy to make like paint, like watercolor paint at least. So that's basically what they do. They make most of their clothes like out of leaves and flowers and all kinds of stuff like that, but they also make it out of spider silk. Alright, so let me get that. Let's have this one's arms go kind of like so. I am starting to get hungry. But I'm gonna do the stream first. Don't mind waiting a while. Alright, so. 'Cause how fairies record the event to pass the generation. They simply do what humans did for thousands of years. They basically write down the event, have artists like draw pictures of like events that happen. Basically, they do all kinds of stuff like that. Right, so let's see. This guy's job is to like basically be flashy so that the fish can come and like bite him and stuff. So we're just gonna have that. We could just have him with a fly. So let's make the fly like, see, flies are kind of grayish. I saw a whole bunch of them. So since the winds are kind of transparent, it's like that for their fairies too, along with the flies. So yeah, they basically just transcribe literally everything they can. So he's gonna be like in this uniform too. Right, so let's do that. And this. I usually only do one side of the winds, but I feel like it's necessary to do both this time. And so we're gonna make this guy green. So let's do that and that and that. Alright, now let's make his skin green because I do have some green fairies in this comic book. They look kinda like that. Don't have the exact colors on me right now though. Right, do they have strong memories? Yes, they do. Fairies have memories better than humans do, like in this day and age. But they still are capable of forgetting stuff. Because they only live for so long. Should actually make that white. So let's do that. So let me add this real quick. But yeah, these fairies, they love to like basically do what they can to survive. Kind of a dumb thing for me to say. Because like most animals want to do what they can to survive. Like flies are pests to humans. So could they be pets or something? For the most part, flies are considered like pests for these guys too. It's just that these guys, they're worse because they're kind of like vultures to them. For for the fairies, they have like all kinds of pets though. They have fireflies, that's the most common one. That's like dogs to them. They have snails, they have slugs, they have bees. Sometimes. It's really hard for them to have a bee as a pet. Because bees are just really difficult to like handle and take care of. Alright, so let me go ahead and make this one's hair green. Since this is a green person. Alright, so let's also add this and that. But yeah, but sometimes fairies, they do some relatively dumb things. So basically just having that be like that. Alright, so I think bees would be their colleagues, like ants to other species. Yeah, kinda. They like hyenas, something. Yeah, the flies, they are kinda like that, in a way. Like, they just flock to, like, any kind of, like, dead creature and just swarm it. Yeah, it's much harder, like, for them to get food. That's why, like, each colony, for the most part, like, grows mushrooms. A lot of them don't have enough room to, like, grow the mushrooms, but they still try anyway. Alright, so we got that there. That there. Let's... Oh yeah, I wanted to add a sail to it. Alright, let me do that. Since, like, they've stopped right now, they don't really need to have, like, the sail all the way up. So let's go ahead, change that to trade. Actually, for the sake of easiness, let's make the sail on another layer. Alright, so let's go and make it right there. Alright, perfect. You've seen a millipede before? Yes, I have. They are some creepy looking folk. Well, I don't know why I call them millipede a folk. It's an insect. But yeah, they are creepy looking to me. I think centipedes are creepier looking. Assuming I didn't get the two mixed up. The creepier looking one is the one like with all the extra spikes and legs and stuff. The millipede itself is creepy looking. It's kind of cute, but mostly creepy looking. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so we got that, this, and then we're just gonna have... Let's actually have like a bottle cap right here. because that would be funny. So right there should be good. And eraser. Just need to make a nice little ground support for it. Let me change that to tools actually. Right, so what fairies think about a millipede and a centipede? Alright, so wait, let me skip this talking real quick. Alright, so what a centipede, they would just, I think they would just like try what in the heck? Alright, so with a centipede, they would just try their best to attack it, but they wouldn't be able to because their armor is just too strong. Now with a millipede, since they're like way more dangerous, they would probably either run away on sight or fly away on sight, or they would just try to kill it too. But those would be like way more dangerous because to my knowledge, those ones attack stuff, while the centipede, they just stay and like just eat decomposing material, while the millipedes hunt. But I'm not certain about all of that. Alright, so let's see. I think I might make this like a leaf or something like that. Kind of like this, like that. Thinking like either a leaf or maybe a handkerchief or something. Yeah, I just think that's a little bit too big. Right there, harmless centipedes are the deadly one. Yeah, actually, thought about that. I knew like one of them was more dangerous. I just forget the names of them. I'm gonna make the sails real small, like they folded it up. Right, what about they use ants to shoot acid? Yeah, they do that. Like since it's like hard to like reload an ant, they don't use it too often, but they do use it like whenever they know for a fact they have to like burn stuff, burn someone's face off, so to speak. So like here's one for example. Like picture this guy here is like normal. And he's there and he's just holding this ant. It's not going over him. Alright. Yeah, so what they would do is they would grasp the ant and then they would squeeze on the ant's thorax, or as they call it scientifically, its butt. And then once they squeeze it, all of its like yellow insect acid liquids will just pop out, kind of like that. Alright, so yeah, they basically use that as a gun, but it's just a one-shot gun, so it's not as good as like a regular human gun, but it's still pretty good for ranged attacks. Because they do try to like make bows, but they aren't really useful at that size. But rat guns are pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna get rid of that part. Like, I was thinking about making this out of, like, random assorted trash. I feel like that would probably be, like, a good idea. I was thinking about making it out of a bottle, but not everything in their society should be made out of a bottle. Even though it would be make the most sense for them. So we're gonna have the leaves go kind of like this. And let me see. Oh my. I need a new pen. And this tin is going crazy. You think rocks are the future fairy technology? And guns are muskets? Yeah, definitely. And these fairies, they're like constantly getting hunted down. So they really are desperate for like a miracle weapon. In fact, like in the main series that I plan on like finishing, I'm going to actually make it so one of them actually witnesses a gun being fired. And they might actually like try and reverse engineer that on the small scale. But these fairies, they have no idea how to make gunpowder, so they are gonna be lost. And so we got that there.
Lord, these games are starting to feel like chores. But some triangle guy came up with a new game he found.
But yeah, there are so many fascinating technologies that these fairies are gonna learn about. According to one guy named Lavender. I'm naming like all the fairies, like the main character fairies in this comic book, like after flowers and various nature objects like that. Alright, I've made me a pencil. Alright, let's sharpen like some of it. It's kind of like that. And like that. Alright, that's good. Let's make it white. I think they'll use the power of intelligence to make machines, like how our clock is made. Well, it's certainly a possibility. Don't know if I'm gonna cover like that in the comic book, but most likely. There are like all kinds of technologies that these fairies are going to have in the comic. Right, let's actually have like a bunch of the spider web there. Even though it's gonna be held on to by more than just spider web. So we're gonna add this to that, and then this to this. Yeah, it's just a bottle cap right there. Right, one moment, please. Okay, I am back. But yeah, these fairies, they can make like clockwork golems, maybe. Right, so like that sail, so we're gonna add that sail and merge. Let's actually like do and like get this guy. Because this is like how the guards look. They're muscular like this. So it's just gonna copy and paste the. Let's do that to 13. Alright, so that looked a little bit better already. Wait, sorry I didn't see a message for a while. It could turn sand into something solid like tiny concrete. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. So we're gonna have the Hands stretch out like that. So got that. They turn mud to clay as furniture. Yeah, they do that. Like they have like this pottery that they carry their water in, so that they can like carry that potted water into their homes. Yeah, they do that. A whole bunch of them that makes all kinds of pottery, including like cups and plates and all kinds of stuff like that. That's a little bit too big. Yeah, they can definitely do all of that and more. So there's that. So stream for an hour. I think they're probably so hard to smash in small scale. Human ones are skyscrapers to them. And most definitely. I don't know if any of the fairies would have seen a human work of art, but I feel like a lot of them may have seen it like during their travels, but like they pass stories down about it. But yeah. So like in their religion they were taught to like reject the humans and not like use any human tins. But yet here they are, like with a boat made from bananas that are kind of made by humans. I'll just give that one a pass. But they're using a pencil and a bottle cap to help the boat go. Be a no back in like their days, like the old times of that religion. But nowadays they actually do that, and even though they're not supposed to, but they still do. Right. So that's what they do right up there. Right. The shoulder pads are basically just for like the chief of police, for example. Except these guys are soldiers. Where is the delete button? I almost fell asleep.
Shattered in an instant. The greatest minds of Amphibia bested by a girl so insignificant. It was the demon of nightmares who undid our fate.
There we go. I think it would have TV on their stick building, like those with Sony Watchmen. Like if they ever like get electricity, I'm sure they would definitely like try and invent television. But they don't have all that. The best they can do is just read a comic book. Right, let's see. Right. One moment, please. My pen keeps escaping. Alright, I am back now. By the way, Galactic, like, do you like draw? Who? I think they would use like batteries for electricity. Yeah, that's true, but like they wouldn't really have much to conduct it with. Because they don't really, actually they do. I almost forgot that they literally poop metal. Oh, they should have electricity then. They find like most metal stuff gross though, because it does come out of them. Yes, I like it. Alright, that's good. I think it would be TV, like the Sony Watchmen, like stick building. I don't think I've seen that version of the Watchmen. I saw like it probably is the same show, but like the Watchmen that I saw was on HBO like quite some time ago. I want to say like 6 years or so. But yeah, it was quite some time. Alright, so basically there's one of the fairy guards. Just copy and paste them for down there. I think I'll probably like finish making this lean at the very least. Then I probably won't bother like worrying about the rest of the other ones. Gotta make him even smaller. He's still pretty big, but that's pretty small for them now. So we're gonna do that. Wonder if I could like make this transparent a little bit. Just like do that and make it slightly more transparent. Yeah, that works better. But yeah. So this is, I forget what they call it exactly, but there is like a rock and a string where you spin it and it's kind of like their own version of a bullet. The bows don't work, but like this is like one of their ranged attacks that isn't an ant. One moment. Yeah. So are they gonna use the spider's web electricity? Use the spider's web for electricity. I'm not sure if spider web is conductive or not. So I have to do a little bit of research on that. But if it is, they will. Yeah, like when they're sitting down, I guess that could be like when their windows are closed. Like to have it kind of like this though. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much thought into this. And so that's good. All right. So that's looking good so far. And so let's actually have this one current right there. So let's have this go kind of like that, and then here. So that's good, right? Like that. Alright, so this is looking good so far. We have a legend about a fisherman attacked by sea creature. Oh, they definitely have, like, proof of that. Because keep in mind, they are just, like, 2 inches tall. So their boats and, like, many crews, like, just constantly get killed off by fish. Sometimes by humans. Because, like, the humans, they don't even see them. Like, keep in mind, these are 2 bananas, and this is a pretty big boat for them. So, like, a human just, like, passing by on a paddle boat could unknowingly sink it. Or someone just using, like, a remote control boat. Like, I was actually thinking about, like, someone just, like, leaving behind, like, their remote control boat and was just actually going to go ahead and, like, have the fairies just take control of that and control it. But then I figured that would be kind of crazy. So let's get that. Yeah, I was toying with that idea, but then decided the boat banana would be more fun. Now, the fairies, they all have like 4 babies at a time, instead of the usually one that humans have. Yeah, they have like a whole bunch of legends of various stuff happening. But they also have these like folk tales of like various events that happened to them. So one of the folk tales they have is, I don't know why they would be transporting this many babies on a boat, but I'm still gonna add them anyways, because why not? And then fairies have preservation for their media, even human media. Yeah, like a lot of the fairies, even though in the comic book, they're gonna like basically read and write in English, they're not gonna really know the human language. They just know how to speak it, but they don't know like what everything says. Like, like they don't know how to read it, I should say. But like to they do like to preserve everything that they can, though. As long as it supports their belief system, because these fairies, they are very, very religious. the fairy religion is gonna play somewhat of a big part in the comic. Let's see, right? That's good there. Should have made her smaller. It's a bit late to do that now. Oh well. Oh, she could have just been like some kind of like drowned person. Not drowned, but she basically was out like sailing with her babies, probably trying to escape. But then they caught her and made her safe after the boat fell. That could be interesting. So let's add that. Yeah, I'm just wondering how they would feed like all the babies, because as you can see, they only have 2 breasts and they have 4 babies each time. Now you would think that would mean that they would basically leave 2 to die, but that's not the case. They try to raise all of them. Could they understand science and logic? Yeah, they can understand that. A lot of them do. It's just not as popular as like their religion. But they do have like scientists though. So let's go ahead and get the white eyes from this fella. Let's get this one's here going. Could they understand science and logic? Yeah, they could. Alright, so I'm not good at drawing breasts. I'm just gonna assume that this is pretty alright. I think that's fine there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get like a nice red pants. Now, in this culture, like almost everyone wears pants. Sometimes they don't, but most of the time they do. Because since they all fly, it's kind of obvious why they would want to wear pants. To not have people like looking up. Alright, so since this lady is massive, like I need to compare the size of a banana. Alright, so I got like a pencil right here. I'm gonna measure it now. Alright, so I got a pencil right here next to me. Alright, so that woman is equal to, let's see. See, right up there would be the size of the woman. I think C actually might be the big size. So we're actually gonna make this guy slightly bigger. I think they would have a cultural revolution like the Renaissance. Yeah, I actually think that I'm going to like make that happen in this because I feel like I'm going to like maybe have like a societal collapse at some point in this, but I'm not certain just yet. And the societal collapse could just be like city-wide rather than species-wide. Like, what do you think is a better size? Like, I like the small size of this man right here. Let me just copy and paste him so he's right next to her. That's a copy, paste. I'm just trying to like make a unified size for all of them. Because they're both sitting down and like C looks way bigger. So like, which do you think like looks better like size-wise? Not by the look, just by the size of how they are. So 1 or 2. They both look the same. Let me change that. Alright, so this one's 1 and this one's 2. So like, which size looks better? The bigger one, which is 1, or the smaller size, which is 2? I think the pencil is huge too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The smaller size just works. So I think I'm gonna edit it so I'm gonna try to make the woman smaller. If not, she's just gonna remain big. Because I can't make the babies that much smaller. Can I? Yeah, that worked. Made it smaller.
Barriers are broken. The free worlds lay bare and open. You can run, you can hide, but nothing can escape our light. For we have arrived.
Right, so now that she's smaller, the size is more in line with each other. That pencil was hand-sized. Yeah, it's a pretty big pencil. Like, I have a pencil right next to me, and the pencil is pretty much as big as my hand. Like, my hand is slightly bigger than the pencil, but yeah, it worked, basically. Yeah, so, like, these guys, like, that spider is just a little bit big, but they do make spiders that big, so I guess we can chalk that up to just them having that. Alright, so I was planning on having, like, some other folks, like, standing here to, like, help pull it. But, maybe not. Let's actually have, like, a small fish pile, because this is gonna be, like, in a little lake, basically. Just a nice, well-established place where they can stare and get their own stuff sorted. And since these guys have wings, they can just... They don't even need, like, the wind to pick up. In fact, it's easier for them to move when there's no wind out and about, because they can just move their wings and just flap it and move the boat where they want it to go. Which could be pretty cool. So I'm gonna add, like, a small boat with it sunk. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Alright, so we're just gonna have this boat be like cut in half, kind of. Then we can just have like some water flailing in there. So let's copy. So copy, cut to building. Alright, let's have this be a matchbox. Alright, so let's put match. MAT, that signifies it enough. So we're gonna add that darkness, we're gonna add that just so it's synced. Then I could add like a little bit more out here. Just so it's still being sunk out here. Alright, that works. Alright, so hopefully, like, the visual storytelling could tell that, like, she was on that matchbox, like, with her 4 babies, trying to escape from somewhere, and these guys took her in. Alright, a moment. Alright. Need some water. Excuse me. Oh, Ratatouille. That is such a good movie. That is one of my favorite movies. Excuse me. I think you said you were 18, isn't it? When it came out in like 2007. So that was, you were around born at the time, or just not born just yet. That was a good movie. You should check it out if you can one day. George and Mandy's First Marriage. What a stupid show. And stuff, a Family Feud. The heck, songs and stories. Oh, I wish I didn't miss that. Jonas Brothers were performing. Yeah, that would have been good. Would have been a good thing to watch. Oh well, that is that, I guess. Alright. To Ratatouille. What do you think of Rat? I watched Ratatouille as a 6-year-old. Oh, that's good that you've seen it. It is a very classy movie, like, of high culture. Right, have to be like the highest, like, the greatest of all, like, movies whatever it was. It must be seen. Alright, what do fairies think of rats? Rats are very dangerous to the fairies. Fairies have managed to tame some of the beasts, but most rats are dangerous to the fairies. They have managed to tame some rats and treat them as if they're cows. And they slaughter like any of them that they can for a nice easy source of meat. Let's see, mice, they're around like the size of the fairy, like 5 inches. So like these are 2 inches, so a rat would be kind of like a mouse, I mean, would be like yay big, for example. Would be kind of like that. Not including the tail and stuff. So there would be like that, and then they would have their little rat eyes and rat mouse nose and stuff. And I think the rat is like much bigger than that, kind of like Alright, anyways, they're kind of like this big. That rat looks cute, so I'm actually gonna keep it. It's a cute little mouse. I use them interchangeably, but the rat is most significantly bigger than the mouse. According to I know that the rat is bigger, but I might be incorrect on the statement of them being like 3 or 5 feet tall. I mean inches. I'm measuring everything in inches, even though it's illogical. But I am an American. We are not a very smart bunch, at least not at the moment. Alright, so let me just have this rat go here, or like there. Right, let's do that. Have it drink. We're still hopefully doing well. So let's actually make that a tad bigger. Alright. Let's also add that little, goodness gracious. Alright. I'm also gonna take the liberty of shrinking that tail's thickness down. Just a tad. Now I should make him have like his little legs kind of like this. Like that. And I'm gonna make it like mostly a little brown mouse. Yeah, like I think that worked. Gonna do that. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's also add like a slight amount of fur to him. Just like there. There. You don't want to add too much. Right. That's good. Alright, so right, this. Oh, that's not good. Sorry. Let's see how worms are to them. For the most part, they don't interact with the worms, but they do. Let's see, what do worms eat? Right. To my knowledge, they only eat rotten foods, so I think that they usually let the worms like survive and let them live. In fact, I was looking for an animal that they would like feed their dead bodies to, and I think worms could do it because these guys do have a farm. And I don't know if farms are good for mushrooms, like where like soil nutrients is good for them. But I think they would probably do that to like keep the worms safe and stuff. At least that's what I think they would do. Right, so. Alright, so we got that. Let's also add on just a small amount of stuff here. Because they did catch some stuff, some fish. Yeah, I'm not really good at drawing like small fish, at least fish that look small. So hopefully this will work out good. Okay, so we're gonna do that and this. Yeah, worms can dig underneath, so it would end up in fairy towns. Yeah, like I don't think they would mind it too much. It will have some property damage, but these fairies, in spite of them living in the Middle Ages, they do have things like home insurance, so they would probably just have that as like coverage. Hey, was your house eaten by a squirrel? Now we have you covered. Now you just gotta pay us every month a small fraction of your salary. And if your home gets eaten, we will cover all of the damages. That's basically the fairies would be doing. Because this is like a very capitalistic society these fairies are a part of. Right, so we're gonna have that, this, and that. Those tiny... Have you drawn guppy fish? I have never drawn a baby fish before. I've drawn plenty of fish, but no guppies. Or those tiny fish in our tank. I was actually thinking of having them like have their own fish farm, like not with actual fish, but like since fairies regularly go into human homes, they would have like they could probably like get some of the sea monkeys and raise them as their own. I was just thinking about them doing that. Alright, so let's do that. I think this kind of looks like a small fish, does it? Like it's slender, it has big eyes. I feel like that could be kind of like a minnow or something like that. Alright, one moment. Till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. Because I may have to take a slight break. I just don't want to stop moving the camera because it might end up making it like stop the stream or something like that. And I would rather not have that. Alright. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, let's make that to ones. Let's actually reduce this to like be see-through. Alright, there we go. Let's do this too. I'm not gonna make it that pale. I'm gonna just add that. Alright, so like this is the color I plan on making the fish. Alright, so I just want it to have a better looking scale. I know I want it to be that direction, so we're gonna change it to that direction. Yeah, I like making texture. So we're gonna do that. See, it's going in that direction, so we're gonna just go in that direction too. Alright, so that should be good. Alright, so I think that should be good enough for that. Let's just crop that into right here. And I could do, shoot, incorrect. There's the crop button. Right, so let's do that there, this here. By the way, this is like a very easy way to make scales. The heck? Alright. And how would they survive in the rain? How they... Oh, you mean the fairy? Yeah, they basically have these homes that they live in. They live inside of these like mushrooms. Excuse me. Protects them from the rain and then like a whole bunch of other creatures. But yeah, it's real healthy for them. And so let's do this.